I want to hear from people who are not in the camp of the Texans going for big fish right now in free agency. And this is my thought on it. And Clint, I'll be all over their ass, and I think it's very, very unacceptable. And I don't think it will happen, but I think it would be very unacceptable if we get here to training camp and they have not signed a player that is a proven, in his prime, Pro Bowl level player, at least one, to this team. And because there are plenty of them out there. If they do not sign a proven Pro Bowl level player, a proven Pro Bowl level player in this offseason, at least one to this team, it is unacceptable.
I need two.
You need two. I'm just saying at least one, it's unacceptable. Maybe they go one and they get, higher level players, and maybe there's a couple of players that have a huge upside. All right, but they need to it will be unacceptable if they don't add because they don't need to shop with food stamps or EBT cards anymore. They don't need to do that. They have the third most amount of money to spend right now, and there are a ton of guys that fit that build that potentially will be available. From the Saquon Barkleys, from the Josh Jacobs, from the Derrick Henrys, Chris Jones. Now, I don't know if he'll be out, but he's a free agent. Josh Allen with Jacksonville, T. Higgins, Brian Burns, Justin Matabike, Christian Wilkins fits that build. L'Jarius Sneed is a free agent. Michael Pittman with the Colts is a free agent. Daniel Hunter, who had huge sacks, is a free agent. Mike Evans, who we've talked about. There are a lot of guys that fit that it would be, to me, a real disappointment and unacceptable if they don't add someone that is a proven Pro Bowl level player in their prime. That to me will be unacceptable because they have the means, and if you ain't going to do it now with CJ on a rookie deal, I don't know when you will, because when he comes up, he's going to be the highest paid player in football. All right? I don't know. That to me, and I believe they'll do it, but that will be unacceptable if we come through here. It can't be we're gonna bring in Marquise Brown, we're gonna bring in Gabe Davis, and we're gonna bring in some safety. They've got to bring in proven Pro Bowl level players. I don't mind, Clint, some of the guys. I don't mind the Dalton Schultz or the Robert Woods, but they can't be because those two guys were added to this team to be the top offensive threats. If you really think about it, before we saw what Nico and Tank became, Robert Woods and Dalton Schultz were added to the team to be the proven threats and weapons. That can't be the answer this year because you have the means and because there are guys out there to get. You can trade, you can go in free agency, whatever.
And let's make sure we all understand how rare it was what CJ, Tank were able to do in year, and Will were able to do in year one. Like a third-round receiver doesn't typically jump in and be on pace to be your leading receiver in over 1,000 yards and be super dynamic the way that Tank Dell was, right? Nico Collins a guy doesn't stay silent and appear to not be able to play at this level and all of a sudden just come out of left field and be a 1,300-yard receiver and a real threat at any point in time from any point on the field. Like last year was great, but that the reality of it is boy, you had some things really go your way last year.
You had a schedule that allowed you to also slow play that sucker in there. All right, let's go to the lines. Let's hear the people. I legitimately want to hear from people who are on the other side of this. Eddie, we appreciate you jumping in. Where are your thoughts on this right now in terms of the Texans going after a big fish or more than that in the offseason?
So far as big fish, we have to have a running back, and I 100% think we will sign one of these running backs, period. That's a done deal. It's going to happen. But I disagree with Clint when he talks about we need at least two, because here's why. Say we go after Mike Evans. He's going to demand close to $25 million a year. We get that running back who we all agree we have to have. He's another 10. And then our rookie class is always $5 million. So between Evans, the running back, and your rookies, there's $40 million right there to start. But the Texans have to replace. We have lost our starting kicker, our starting punter, our starting tight end, defensive tackle, defensive end, linebacker, and cornerback. And does anyone else feel good about Jalen Peter being your starting safety? So, yes, we need the running back, and we will get it. But $25 million on a Mike Evans is a silly pipe dream. We don't have the money to replace every position we lost and sign Mike Evans in addition to a running back.
Eddie, I just want to make – did you lead off – Eddie, did you lead off with the kicker and the punter as the replacements?
They're not under their contracts are done, aren't they?
That's fine, but they're kickers and punters. I appreciate your call, Eddie. They're kickers and punters. I'll let you jump in because he disagreed with you on that, but the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes on their team, and they're figuring out a way to bring in Chris Jones and L'Jarius Sneed. And they just signed a tackle for $80 million. They've got Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I mean, you've got your quarterback, your best receiver, your top two receivers, your best corner, your best defensive end, your best linebacker, and your best safety. Ultimately, let's say what you want about Jalen Peter. Jalen Peter's going to play. He's going to play well for the Houston Texans. I don't care what anybody says. Yeah. He ain't going anywhere. He's going to play well. He's going to be fine. All those guys are on rookie deals. The only guys that you've paid where you kind of sit back in your chair is your two tackles. I mean, who am I missing, Ron? Who am I missing that there's
because right now Jonathan Grenard is not paid.
You ain't paid Jonathan Grenard. You hadn't paid Dalton Schultz, right? I mean,
you can't lead off with the kicker and the punter with me. I mean we got to go. Sheldon Rankins ain't making that much damn money.
Right.
No,
I agree that you can't be reckless with it, but guys, look around, man. I mean, look around at the teams that we're talking about, and what the quarterback is making more money than anybody on their team, and they still got more game changers. I mean, you just talk. I don't know. You look at guys that are getting paid on Baltimore alone, and I know Odell Beckham Jr. was $15 million. Lamar Jackson got his. Ronnie Stanley got his. Roquan Smith got his, and I don't even know what their corners are. I don't know if they're any of the higher paid guys. But you got 4, 5, or 6 guys that are paid handsomely with contracts. The Texans, you got Laramie Tunsil and Titus Howard.
No.
Who am I missing anybody?
No, you're not. I
mean, it's going to be more than one. I mean, there's no reason to not just go after one. And if Mike Evans is too rich, cool. Okay, I'm not saying it has to be Mike Evans. I'm just saying it can't be a slew of these. When Instagram's putting out right now, or NFL or ESPN's putting out the top 10 or 12 wide receivers. It can't be you pick from the bottom 6. Top 12 running backs pick from the bottom 6. That can't be the case.
Yeah, Andrew, let's have you jump in here. Andrew, go ahead. Your thoughts. Where do you stand on this?
Well, kind of like what Eddie was saying, we can go all out and pay a Mike Evans or a Saquon, 25 or whatever mil a year, but we really need help at safety. We really need help on cornerbacks. I just feel like there's a lot more value that we can get out of doing a little bit of building from the draft and doing a little bit of trade up and get this guy, plug this guy in there. We can get 7 or 8 guys that are going to come help the team instead of spending all that money just trying to get a Mike Evans in the door.
Andrew, what's your expectations for next year for the Texans?
I'm thinking 12-5, go back to the divisional round.
You can't.
And
what you're saying,
they can beat the Ravens or the Bills or the Chiefs in that second round and get over the hump and get to the AFC Championship. That's what I need out of the Texans.
I appreciate the call. You can't be thinking 12 damn wins with this schedule, and you're up there talking about you're saying safety. Safety. And yes, people on here, listen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. That guy who used to be in my body is almost about to come through here.
Hold on.
Now listen, I'm telling you right now. Now, if you all going to be sensitive about things, now it's ridiculous. People over here texting about the kickers. I don't appreciate you talking down to the guy. He mentioned the kicker and punter. Stop. Not by talking down to him. you sensitive asses. It's a kicker and a punter. Nobody gives a damn about no kicker and no punter. We're not talking about Johnston this year because you had an offense. Trying to get to the damn Super Bowl. You're trying to get to an AFC championship game. And it's not going to be by no damn kicker or no punter. The Chiefs have one of the best kickers in the league and highest paid kickers in the league. And they have Patrick Mahomes. You ever talking about a kicker and a punter and a safety? You're not trying to win 12 games with this schedule. Scary ass hoes. Yeah, let's look at a safety. Calm down. Quit being so damn sensitive. No, this is big boy football. I'm not talking about no damn kickers and punters. Are you kidding me?
Sorry, Kymie.
I'm not going to sit there and say they're not important. It's not. Stop.
They can't hold you back from building a championship roster.
What are you talking about? Kickers and punters. Listen, I'm gonna be a little. We're gonna have fun. We can go back and forth. I'm not saying I hate you, or if I'm being mean to you, I'm just talking to you. We got to get into real things. Y'all need some difference makers. Offensively, defensively, somebody.
And they say no.
You didn't lose to the Ravens because the punter. You lost to the Ravens because you didn't have a soul out there that could make a big play.
And I know it's gonna be
Kickers and punters. There were 9 of them. 9 texts that came in about talking down to the kickers and punters.